Today on Seeds of Soul, we welcome Yogita Goradia, a clinical dietitian with over 27 years of experience. Yogita merges nutrition with soul and guides her clients with lot of practical tips as to how they can overcome their lifestyle disorders. So join me on this conversation, which is both nourishing and enlightening, with Yogita leading the way. Thank you so much, Yogita. Thank you for taking time out to join us on Seeds of Soul.
I'm privileged to be over here, and I think the topic we are going to discuss is my favorite.
It is all parents' favorite topic as to what can we do about our children's health in this fast, ever-changing world, and what measures can we take to strengthen our children's immunity and overall health.
So basically, the children are always on the go. They are running from morning school to classes to activities, and by the time they reach home, they are actually drained.
Correct.
Right? So looking after their regular diet patterns, it's like you give good fuel and the child is going to run the day nicely.
Correct.
So breakfast is a very important meal of the day. Hydration is the key to everything basically.
Yeah.
And first thing I would say, which is very offbeat, is from the childhood, the child should be potty trained. The more the flushing out of the intestine, all the garbage is out, the child automatically feels hungry, they hydrate and they eat whatever is served to them. So that is the main thing which we need to train the child right from childhood. Whether the child is 6 months old,
even at 6
months old, 4 months old, you should start. Once they wake up, make it a habit, they have to reach the washroom. So you wake up accordingly. You wake the child little earlier, train them. Slowly they get into the habit that they will themselves wake up and go to the washroom, and they will flush out everything and they'll be hungry, and whatever you serve, they will be eating it.
Correct.
And hydration. First thing, you start with water and then serve them breakfast. First meal of the day is the most important meal of the day.
Okay.
So then according to
have breakfast like a king, right?
Yes, that's implies to everyone, of course, but definitely for children because they have a long day.
Correct.
Today's children don't have small days.
And they have such an overpacked day, and they have so many activities to do, and because they're small, their metabolism is also high. So obviously they need much better nutrition, and
yes,
the focus should be much more on that.
Definitely. That's why if the breakfast is good, they would not be interested in eating the junk food in the mid-meal.
Correct.
Their nutrition once is met, they never eat or crave for wrong food.
Okay.
The body doesn't accept it, the body doesn't demand it.
Okay.
So eating the first meal and even the mid-meal or the lunch, you serve them small compact meals, but concentrated with all nutrition.
Correct.
So even a small tiffin box, what you give them for lunch also, see that you don't give roti, sabzi, dal, they're not going to open and eat in school.
Yeah, it's not that much.
So we as parents have to plan their meals in such a way that it is compact.
Correct.
That they can eat and go play, they can eat, gossip with their friends, move around.
Correct.
Right? So in that half an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, anything what they open should be colorful and they can eat it immediately without dirtying their hands or making a mess over there. Okay. Very few, 10% children will sit with elaborate meals.
Correct. That is so well put. So, according to you, what are the trappings that young parents fall to when it comes to, deciding a course of nutritional plan for their children?
See, basically, the children don't have timings of their sleep. So, in the morning, they take long time to wake up.
Correct.
They are not fresh.
Correct.
They are actually tired.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So we also don't have patience that, okay, because we have to reach them to school, we want everything fast.
And we have so many chores, the morning is such a busy time.
So it's just a glass of milk or just a fruit, or they might not even eat anything, not even a glass of water, and they reach school.
Correct.
And the first meal will be at 10, 10:30.
Yeah.
And when they open the box, it's straight fried food.
Correct, correct.
Or it's
correct.
bread, butter, cheese.
Correct.
I have seen tiffin boxes where it's Maggie in the morning at 10 o'clock.
Ouch.
Or the Maggie which is packed at 8 o'clock, they eat for lunch at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's basically that effort and planning has to be from our side as parents, and also keep on talking to your children about nutrition.
About nutrition. About what is, like for example, like a carrot is good for your eyes and cucumber.
Today's
Then-
children are too smart actually. They teach us all these things. Today's children are too smart, but only thing they want is colors. The
Correct.
children when they are young, colors
The
make a very-
presentation should
Yes.
be good. Yes.
Yes, because they want to open in front of their friends.
Correct.
So you have to see that.
Okay. So, and moving forward, we were earlier talking about childhood obesity and how it has become now the new pandemic, where it has actually overtaken, underweight
You've
children,
touched the-
malnutrition.
I think you've touched the right topic actually. Pediatric obesity has increased up to
Dramatically.
8.8% in our country, I would say. That means over 100 children, we have at least 8 children who are obese. I'm not saying overweight, obese, okay? And the statistics tell us that we are going to reach 20 million and by 2030. That is the number of
It
children
is
who are
alarming,
suffering.
isn't it?
In childhood, we are already seeing children hitting early puberty, depression, insulin resistance. Also children who are hyperactive or underactive. There are children who are lethargy, anemic. There are children who are having lot of issues with acidity. Imagine you must have not even experienced acidity till you were 25, 30. Or
Maybe,
we didn't even know what is acidity.
Correct.
There's so much gastro issues with children nowadays.
Correct.
They are facing lot of loose motions, they are facing lot of acidity, stomach
Correct.
ache.
Correct.
Very easily they catch infection.
Yeah, immunity is at an all-time low.
Yes.
It's like they are catching colds left, right, and center.
Yes, that's first of all AC. Second, inactivity.
Yeah,
Lot of phones and social medias and TV gadgets.
gadgets. Yes,
And no playtime. So
Yeah.
basically, children are going for sports,
Yeah.
but then they're not eating enough. That if they play for 3 hours the sports,
correct,
they don't know what to eat before or after the workout.
correct.
So usually after 3 hours of badminton or a tennis or a football, they land up into McDonald's or Domino's, and so everything goes for a toss.
Correct.
So when you need the maximum nutrition, either you're not eating
Correct.
or you're eating the wrong food.
Okay, just because it's just available.
Available likes, and
Yeah.
they are hungry and they don't have what they would like to eat.
Yeah.
So the taste buds are different. What people say they don't eat roti, sabzi, dal. It's like we have to make it a point how to stuff it, how to wrap it and serve it to them.
How to present it in a way that is palatable to them.
Yes.
And that is a saga of every mom and child. Believe me, it is
100%. I
it
would
is a
say
story of my
that's
house.
very common, but I would say if you make it a point to keep discussing with them, involve
Correct.
the parents to, even the children and the parents should sit together and plan the menu. Okay, you plan.
Correct.
Let us keep 2 days of junk. Let us keep 2 days of junk at home.
Correct.
But that junk can be involving certain nutrition also.
Yeah. So it's all about planning, isn't it?
Planning and involving the children. Like when children come to me with
Correct.
some issues, I always say, okay, the parent doesn't speak, it's me and the child. And I always say, okay, what would you like to eat?
Correct.
What would you like to have in the mid-meal? What would you like to eat for dinner?
Right.
How many times in a week should I give you sugar? How many times a week we will... So when you make them responsible to take a decision, they don't take wrong decision.
Okay. Wow.
They don't take wrong decision because they know what they are doing is wrong, but they get pampered by the parents.
Correct.
They should, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's the way they cheat you and themselves. But
Yeah.
here when you make them responsible, you tell them, okay, you take a call.
As to how many days you can
Yes,
have
you
junk
decide.
food.
I can give you 2 days. So when they come to say, okay, this week what dessert you want to have? First question is that, okay, what you want to go out and eat? The other days at least they will eat what you say.
Correct. Correct.
Or you give them a list of options from this, which day what you will eat.
Yeah.
So then they eat, but they eat less, or they are conscious of what. You have to make them responsible. You have to make them take charge of their nutrition.
Yeah,
So it's like, how you tell them which clothes you want to wear.
correct.
Same way they'll do this also. That's what my experience has told me.
Absolutely. And what about, as we were talking about fast-paced lives, the advertisement and marketing tactics that is employed by most FMCG companies are actually often misleading. How can we protect our children from that?
See, basically, you have to take them shopping with them also. As I said, educating them.
Right.
As you see, you just turn the wafer packet, you turn Maggi packet, you turn something else.
And you tell them that,
then
these are the
tell them to
chemicals,
read.
yeah,
and then see,
sodium
these
content.
children are very smart.
Yeah.
Google is on their fingertips, right?
Correct.
You say saturated fat is there.
Yeah.
What harmful effects? And then they are in sports, they are in studying, in their concentration, they want to stand first. It does make an effect. It's not going to be overnight. You have to keep repeating.
Over and over and over
Yes, you have to keep repeating, you have to keep saying and not make it available at home.
again. Yeah.
I would say, my biggest advice is for school and for all the parents is where actually they all have WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
right? So when you invite children for a stay over or for a party, let us set a menu only in such a way that they themselves see, okay, it's healthy but palatable. Mothers themselves internally should discuss, what I am going to serve today. So accordingly, the dinner is made at home. And there is definitely communication going on with the mothers in the group, where the involvement is there that today dance class is at her place, today she is going to pick up, she is going to drop. So after school, what tiffin, let one mother carry for all. So looking at each other also, they will start eating it. So it should be where everybody is involved in a group and they can definitely turn into a good habit.
Yeah,
it's like you have to make them understand what it is, why it is made. Different cuisines can be involved.
Because children never listen to what you
See,
say.
if my friend is eating, I'm going to eat. It's like that. Okay, she's eating, I have to eat.
Correct.
So that competition is always very good amongst the children.
Correct.
Like I have my niece. They have a group, one day dance class here, one day drawing class here. Now after school, nachos is there. At home when they come, they don't want to eat food. Then at late night, they are hungry. They will not like roti sabzi. But the same thing, when they involve food which is served, let it be little healthy. Instead of nachos, let it be tacos. I'm not saying no for nachos. Let it be tacos.
But they can be with a healthier dip.
Yes. So serve tacos first. Once they finish that, serve nachos. So it's not no, but first serve the healthy stuff.
Correct.
And then put up the other thing.
Correct.
Half the stomach is filled.
Yeah.
So it's little bit of that.
But speaking of societal pressures, there are so many in birthday invite parties, which are done in play areas, which are not exactly serving healthy foods. So, while you want to keep up, with your friends and you have this added pressure of attending those parties and then, and then the availability of fast foods there. So, how do you think that as parents we can tackle this situation?
See, I would say pressure is there, but somebody has to stand out.
Correct.
If once you do it, others can always look at you and look up to you.
Correct.
And change. Somebody has to stand up and change, isn't it?
Correct.
First, we used to have birthday parties at home where games were involved.
Yeah.
Right? Games were involved, parents were involved. The children used to play from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock for a birthday party.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Food was not that priority. They used to eat when they were hungry.
Yeah, it was just about games and all and coming together.
And they don't even actually focus on food when they are involved with children. They are playing, isn't it? And nowadays, if you calculate, you see every parent should just keep 15 days calendar or a week's calendar. Okay? What they have served, what their child has eaten from morning to evening. They themselves will realize how much of salt, sugar, maida has gone in their diet.
Documenting, journaling it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just 1 week without telling the child also eat this or eat that, they themselves will realize where the menu has gone wrong, where the protein has been missing, where the fiber has been missing, where the carbs have been simple carbs and not complex carbs, whether the child has missed so many meals.
Yeah.
And the most important thing the children miss out is water. They don't want to go to the washroom in school, and hydration is the biggest problem amongst children.
Okay.
They don't have enough water.
Yeah.
So they look dull.
Yeah. And their cognitive abilities are also not up to the mark.
Their digestion is affected, their
Yeah.
appetite is affected, and the salt intake. I'm still saying again and again, salt intake is the biggest criminal, I would say, because if you go to see, the requirement of a child is not more than 4 grams a day.
True.
And you're in one pasta or one burger, you are having 4 grams of salt.
Wow.
Minimum, I'm saying, okay, without the French fries.
Okay.
Okay, see you, the bread has salt, extra salt, the sauces which we are put inside, the
Has
cheese,
sodium.
the patty which has been preserved for days and days. So obviously all preservatives are sodium based.
Sodium based.
You see the chip packets what they eat, the biscuits they eat, the cakes they eat, everything has sodium preservatives, the chocos, the cornflakes, all have sodium preservatives.
So, are you saying that sodium is a bigger culprit than sugar also?
Yes, because whenever you have more salt, you feel lethargic. There is lot of water retention even in your gut. So the digestion of your fat is affected.
Okay.
Your appetite increases, your taste buds change. So then you don't like normal food. And salty foods are always high calorie. You see salted peanuts, can you control over it? Salted cashews, salted chips, French fries.
It's so addictive.
Yes, bread, butter, cheese.
Yeah.
Sometimes parents on the go just say, okay, no milk, they are hungry, just a slice of cheese.
Correct.
Protein is there, but what about the salt?
Yeah. Yeah.
So nobody knows how much salt is going in these children. And the biggest thing is blood pressure, kidney issues, digestive issues. And all these salty things are high calorie. And you see the amount of weight they gain, nobody knows the reason.
Because of the sodium, the water retention is also quite a lot.
Yes.
And because they're not hydrated, so water is getting retained more, which actually takes.
So that's why the children feel lethargic. You feel they are waking up, but they are not active, they are lazy, they are not able to concentrate more, they are not able to focus, they are hyper. Salt and sugar both are hyperness, plus the simple carbs like maida, carbohydrate. So they become very, very hyper, they become aggressive, they rebel also. And you feel, why is the child doing like this?
Yeah.
It's basically what fuel you are giving, the reaction is accordingly that way. So
Wow.
that is the biggest culprit. 3 culprits we have: salt, sugar and maida, and inactivity. The way the children sit, the posture you see, oh my God, I feel the people coming, children coming first, I'm like, sit straight. There is no spinal cord, I would say. Yeah, the posture is itself so bad.
I'm also sitting straight now.
The posture itself is so bad.
Yeah.
Right, with the gadgets, with the books, even they are reading a book, they are sitting or sleeping, and there is no posture control.
Yeah, but I think that, a lot of times, I will make a like a broad stroke that that parents are becoming overly indulgent. They allow children to eat on their beds, which is, because I'm from an army background, I think it was completely was completely a no in my house. And I see children are allowed to eat in front of a screen. They are allowed to just eat on their beds, which is, I think, in my house was criminal. So yeah.
So I was not from an army background and not from a medical background, but my mom and dad both were Hitlers. Both of them till date are very disciplined, organized, into walks.
Yeah.
My mom is always up at 5:30 going for her walks and doing her meditation. Her vitamin D is around 90 without taking a vitamin D supplement.
Wow. And that is the biggest supplement, that's the biggest
coming
deficiency.
to that, the vitamin D content also, or the levels of children are so low.
Correct.
We have analyzed so many kids, and when I did this survey, I think last 1 month back only, I was into child nutrition. The survey we did, maximum children were vitamin D low.
But then they are going out and playing football and stuff, right?
The diet. See, how many children are playing? You tell me.
Okay.
How many children are playing? Only football, handball, dance classes, school, whatever food.
Okay, the sun exposure is not enough.
Yes. Okay. So the vitamin D levels are also low because of the food you eat, the processed food.
Correct.
Definitely yes.
Okay. And that also has a lot of vitamin D, as we all know, has a lot of impact not only on your physical health but also on your mental health.
Yes, so the mental health, we have seen children with lot of stress.
Correct.
Children today are so competitive, so much
Correct.
pressure of education. Even if they are in sports, there is competition. They are playing chess, there is, okay, you have to come first, win a trophy. So much of stress, peer pressure, comparison of what car you have, what clothes you have, what gadgets you have.
So would you say that stress levels are actually are far higher in today's generation as compared to the previous?
100%. And that is the reason also that they turn towards junk food. Because whenever
it's comfort eating.
Comfort eating. Basically, when the children are under stress, they release hormone dopamine, leptin, and also cortisol. Dopamine is a hormone which is like luxury.
Yeah.
Okay? Luxury means only junk food, fried,
Okay.
salt, sugar,
Correct,
everything.
correct.
They want to eat comfort food, rich people food, everything rich. Leptin says, I'm not going to give the brain the signal that you have eaten more. So because leptin is a friend of dopamine. And cortisol says, don't worry, I'm going to store everything on the belly. So that's the best way. So these three hormones are friends and
Yeah.
they all are released.
Kind of gang up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a stress.
Yeah.
These children, they are not able to tell anybody. Today's generation are not able to share their stress or what they are going through, even to their friends or to parents. And they definitely cling on to the wrong food.
Okay.
And when this happens, then there is body shaming. Anybody says, oh, mote, why you are so fat? Bhag bhi nahi sakta hai. Or for the girls also.
Correct,
and then they themselves go into that
shell. Yeah.
And that leads to double amount of weight gain. Nobody knows the reason.
Wow. This actually, the correlation that you told me about the stress related hormones actually makes a lot of sense. So Dr. Goradia, we were actually discussing earlier at the start of our podcast about the onset of early puberty, especially in young girls, as we are seeing. So how do you think that early puberty and obesity are interlinked together?
See, because of this young generation getting early puberty is because they are exposed also to the internet and everything. They are learning
Sure.
things much faster.
Sure.
And also that the food what they are eating, the hormones are changing. The amount of milk product first what was going in the body, okay, was very less. It was milk only. Now
Correct.
it's milk, butter, cheese, paneer.
Correct.
Right? So indirectly the amount of consumption of milk overall has increased quite a bit over a period of time.
Oh.
Because of which the hormones are going haywire. Early puberty is also linked with obesity, and one thing you have to keep in mind is keep a check on your children. They should increase vertically, not horizontally.
Vertically, not horizontally.
Yes, the waistline should not increase.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the time when they shoot up, right? So if they shoot up like this, it's dangerous.
Correct. Correct.
The common thing we see is insulin resistance. That is the darkness of the neck. You have to check
the velvety patch that comes
Yes,
in.
you get a patch here, you get a patch here. You can also check their armpits. You can also check their knuckles. There should be dark pigmentation.
Yeah.
So see that it is not overweight. From overweight, they are shifting to obesity. So the waistline is a very key measure that we have to keep a check. The children, if they are thin, don't say you eat whatever you want. You will not even come to know they break the threshold and they'll shoot up in weight. So many times you will listen,
Correct.
Oh, she's thin, she can eat anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
She can do whatever she wants. No. One fine day, it will break the ice and you are going to shoot up.
Correct.
You have to look at their gut health.
Yeah.
As I said, my first statement, gut health is very important for the children, because if gut health is good, their mood is going to be good. If their mood is going to be good, they will eat only healthy stuff.
True. True.
Their focus, their concentration, their temperament, everything will be leveled up.
Correct. So, as a seasoned practitioner when it comes to health, what steps do you think that our government can take to improve the overall health of the incoming generations?
Actually, I have many things to say in this.
I'm sure.
Actually, the availability of the food products for the children,
Yeah.
I said make it above 21. For all the junk food, the pizzas and the Domino's and the KFCs, whatever you have.
Yeah.
Because at that time your bones are
Just like
fused.
alcohol, make it
Yes.
21 plus.
No, because the availability of these products are so high, the marketing is so high
Yeah.
that the children
and it's
tend to
targeted
fall
towards
into their
children.
prey.
Yes.
They are going to fall a prey because exposure and availability is big. With
Correct.
Zomato and everything, the availability at home has also increased.
Correct.
First you used to go out and eat, now everything comes home. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It comes home and it's easy access.
Correct.
Anybody can walk in and buy, anybody can eat anywhere. If you go outside colleges, what is available? The Chinese bale, full of chemical.
Yeah.
Redness come in the hand,
Correct.
the red color,
Yeah.
which doesn't even go.
Yeah.
So you see the Chinese, how much the children eat. You see the amount of sandwiches, how much they eat.
Yeah.
So the availability is so much,
Much.
which has to be restricted.
True, true, true. Yes, so that is something that I think will be a tall ask, but
Actually,
yes,
it's difficult.
but one can hope and
No.
dream.
And even the parents and the school educating them, I think repetitive telling them always goes in the mind. Somewhere or the other, they become little conscious. You cannot say, okay, in one lecture they are going to understand. No.
No, absolutely.
You have to keep on saying. There will be fights.
It
there
has
will
to
be
be
arguments.
reiterations, yes, again and
There will be
again.
fights, arguments. There is
True.
going to be things, but
True.
yes.
So on a parting note, would you like to share, what makes you hopeful for the incoming generations, and what can we do as parents to better the health of our children?
Basically, I would say start the teaching of educating them about nutrition from home, from childhood, and treat them as adults. If the child is very naughty, the teacher will make him a monitor or her a monitor.
Correct.
So they take charge. They will not do mischief and they'll take charge of the whole class. Same way, when you tell them, okay, you set up a menu for the family, you do this, see this person is suffering because of diabetes, because he is obese or because of this, it goes in the mind and definitely slowly making them responsible, choosing the food, they will slowly learn about it.
Correct.
They will slowly get into the hang of eating good food.
Correct. So
And even the schools, the colleges, I think if birthday parties or nowadays even if you go in weddings, there is a counter of healthy food. Isn't it? So I
Yeah,
think
salad counter.
So everywhere you yourself at home start eating healthy, expose them to a variety of good food which is interesting to them and is healthy. They will also start getting a hang of it. They will eat outside, but they will eat in limit. And the best thing is take them for parties, take them for outings, feed them their favorite food at home and take them. So their stomach is half filled and they will eat there, but they will not hog over it
correct.
or overeat over
That
there.
is actually a smart move, Yes, it might call for a little bit of effort, but it's actually quite a smart move in the long run.
No, it definitely makes. And then
Yeah.
when they come home, again feed them a little. So what happens there, let them play. Don't say, okay, have your dinner.
Correct.
Don't force them into it, no?
Correct, yes. So on that note, I really thank you, Dr. Goradia, for taking time out to join
My
us on
pleasure.
Shades of Soul.
Even I enjoyed this.
Your advice, your tips have been truly enriching, and I know as a mom, they benefited me a lot. So thank
My
you once
pleasure.
again for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.